Welcome to Grand Prix, your go-to channel for the fastest updates in Formula One. We've got 3 hot stories for you, so make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay ahead of the pack. Let's get started. What's up, race fans? Welcome back to another straight-to-the-point video here on Grand Prix. As always, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a second of this weekend's action, especially with late-night coverage from the Japanese Grand Prix. And hey, if you're enjoying the content, drop a like to help support the channel. Now, let's get into one of the low-key stories from qualifying earlier this morning. While most of the headlines are focused on the top of the grid, one name that stood out for a different reason was Gabriel Bordalo. The Brazilian driver delivered some promising early laps, but ultimately fell short in Q1, finishing in P17, just behind his teammate Nico Hülkenberg, who landed in P16. Given the current state of the Sauber car, expectations were already modest. Still, Bordalo's early pace gave fans hope that he might sneak into Q2. So what happened? Why didn't he advance after showing initial strength? Speaking after the session, Bordalo opened up about the team's approach and what went wrong. He explained that several setup changes were made throughout qualifying, including some made on the fly, and not all of them worked out as expected. In his words, what they were missing was just a small final adjustment, a fine-tune, that could have helped the car unlock that extra bit of performance needed to clear the Q1 cutoff. Interestingly, Bordalo didn't place the blame entirely on the car or the team. Instead, he pointed to the changing track conditions, which evolved significantly between his first and final flying laps. As temperatures shifted and rubber was laid down, the grip levels altered just enough to upset the balance of the car. Without that crucial adjustment to match the evolving track, his final push simply didn't deliver the time he needed. Despite the Q1 exit, Bordalo remained calm and composed in his post-session comments. He expressed that while the result wasn't ideal, the session still provided valuable insights. The team was able to collect solid data, which could help them strategize better for the race. Another small silver lining? He'll be starting right alongside his teammate, which opens the door for a coordinated team strategy in the race. With both Sauber cars on the back foot, working together could allow them to make progress through the field, especially if tire degradation or safety cars shake things up. Of course, it's no secret that the Sauber package is far from competitive right now. The car lacks the downforce and consistency to challenge for points on pure pace. But if the team plays it smart and capitalizes on race day variables, even a modest gain in positions would be a step forward. So now it's over to you. Do you think Bordalo can pull off a solid race from P17? Is there a chance for a smart strategy and maybe a bit of luck to turn this into a respectable result? Or is he simply too limited by what the Sauber has to offer right now? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to Grand Prix, like this video, and ring the bell so you don't miss any of our exclusive coverage from Suzuka and beyond. See you after the checkered flag. The news we're bringing you now comes from the steward's office following Saturday's qualifying session at Suzuka. In a post-session decision that has reshuffled the grid, Carlos Sainz has been handed a 3-place grid penalty for impeding Lewis Hamilton during Q2. As a result, Sainz will drop from P12 to P15 on the starting grid for today's race. Let's break down what happened. The incident occurred during Hamilton's final flying lap in Q2, right at the edge of the elimination cutoff. As he approached turn 1, the Mercedes driver encountered Sainz's Ferrari lingering in the middle of the track. The positioning forced Hamilton to abandon his lap, veering off the racing line to avoid a collision. That single moment ultimately cost Hamilton a shot at Q3. Sainz, for his part, defended himself by saying he received no warning from the Ferrari pit wall that a car was approaching on a hot lap. In his words, he would have moved aside had he known Hamilton was coming at speed. While that explanation might earn some sympathy, the stewards weren't convinced. They determined that even if the issue stemmed from a communication failure, the responsibility still fell on the driver to be aware of traffic around him. And so, the 3-place grid drop was handed down. It's a frustrating situation for Sainz, especially considering that qualifying at Suzuka is critical, with limited overtaking opportunities on this high-speed, technical circuit. Falling from P12 to P15 means not only a more challenging race start, but also puts him further behind his teammate and the frontrunners. The penalty, however, benefited several drivers. With Sainz bumped down, Fernando Alonso, Liam Lawson, and Yuki Tsunoda all move up one place on the grid, each gaining a small, but potentially valuable advantage as they prepare for the Grand Prix. Now that the grid has been updated, we're looking at a slightly different picture for the start of the Japanese Grand Prix. And while the top positions remain mostly unchanged, the midfield shuffle could play a big role in how the race unfolds, especially with rain looming as a possibility. So what are your expectations for this race? With the new starting order, do you think Carlos Sainz can recover and climb back into the points? Or will the likes of Alonso, Tsunoda, and Lawson take full advantage of their new grid positions? Let us know in the comments. Who do you think is going to surprise us today at Suzuka? And don't forget to subscribe to Grand Prix. Leave a like if you enjoy our coverage, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update from the world of Formula One. We'll see you soon with post-race analysis and all the key takeaways from the Japanese Grand Prix. Stay tuned and enjoy the race. Tense Pittsburgh lane drama between Norris and Verstappen sparks controversy. Grand Prix. One of the most tense and talked about moments from the Japanese Grand Prix didn't come from an overtake, a crash, or even a last lap battle. It came during a pit stop. Yes, that's right. In a race that saw little action at the front, the real drama unfolded when Lando Norris and Max Verstappen chose to dive into the pits on the exact same lap for their tire changes. The two emerged from the pit lane nearly side by side, with Verstappen narrowly maintaining position. But it was far from a clean exchange. Norris ended up on the grass, clearly forced off track and understandably frustrated. Over the team radio and later in interviews, Norris claimed Verstappen had pushed him out, while Verstappen fired back, stating that Norris knew there wasn't room and chose to squeeze in anyway. It didn't take long for this pit lane confrontation to become one of the most polarizing incidents of the weekend. So what do you think? Was Verstappen in the wrong for not leaving space? Or did Norris take an unnecessary risk? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This one's likely to divide opinions. After the race, Lando Norris didn't hold back when asked about the clash. He admitted that he wasn't surprised at all by Verstappen's aggressive positioning. In fact, he said he expected it. Max is the last guy who's going to give you any space, Norris stated, referencing Verstappen's well-known tendency to push everything and everyone to the limit. That said, Norris was also realistic. He made it clear that this moment in the pit lane wasn't the deciding factor in the race. For him, the real turning point happened on Saturday, during qualifying. Norris believed that if he had done a better job there, he might have had a chance to fight for victory. But once Verstappen got ahead and stayed there, the pace difference between the two was minimal, meaning Norris would have needed a mistake from Max to have any shot at overtaking, and that simply never happened. In the end, P2 was the best he could do. Looking ahead to the next Grand Prix, Norris sounded both motivated and cautious. He acknowledged that Red Bull is recovering, showing signs of returning to dominant form, and warned that McLaren needs to work even harder to stay in the title fight. "We have to be careful," he said, "and keep pushing as a team if we want to remain in contention for both championships." It's a fair assessment. While McLaren has shown impressive form in recent races, they're now racing a Red Bull team that appears to be regaining its footing, especially if Verstappen continues to extract everything from the car the way he did in Suzuka. So how do you see things shaping up? Do you agree with Norris? Was that pit lane moment just classic Verstappen aggression, or a step too far? And more importantly, can McLaren stay in the fight, or will Red Bull's resurgence derail their momentum? Let us know in the comments, and as always, don't forget to subscribe to Grand Prix, hit that like button, and ring the bell to stay in the loop with everything F1. We'll see you again soon, with all the analysis from the next round.